In Shutter Island, 2010, every time Leonardo DiCaprio smokes he gets his cigarettes lit by someone else. Explanation in comments. There was someone arguing on here years ago about how badly the film was edited. When people explained the continuity mistakes were intentional, they doubled down. It was hilarious to watch them try and explain how Scorsese had, just for this one film, forgotten how filmmaking worked. It's still one of the best examples of breaking editing rules to intentionally provoke a reaction. I wish more directors made little puzzle box movies like this. My high school Psych 101 was taught by a part-time teacher, so half of our class was literally watching Memento and this film. It was my favorite class. Doesn't he bum every cigarette too? Harry Potter star Rupert Grint open to return as Ron, under two conditions. For those who don't want to click, 1. The headline is misleading. Rupert didn't say he's open to return as Ron, just that he's open to return to the franchise. 2. The conditions are if the timing was right and everyone was coming back. They could return for the epilogue and we could finally have one where they don't look like shit. Balatro wins formal appeal to reclassify poker game as Peggy 12. Good, now let's do the reverse and make FIFA 2000, and gacha games rated M/Peggy 18. If EA can add entire fucking gambling mechanics which cost real money into theater games and get a Peggy 3 rating, then Balatro should have gotten Peggy 12 to begin with. I can't believe they got dinged for it in the first place. It resembles poker in a lot of ways, chips, the hands, but everything else about it is not poker. It's a number go up game, with poker as a skin. Anyone who's played more than one ante of Balatro knows this. Massive W. If the creator created a patent so that casinos can't use the game for gambling purposes doesn't tell that this game isn't about gambling, then I don't know what does. Is it possible? He'd be her first customer. Maybe Jan asked Michael to buy a lot of regular candles to make them scented, and after the breakup Jan left them, so Michael had tons of candles. Ex-Amazon Gaming VP says they failed to compete with Steam despite spending loads of time and money. We were at least 250x bigger. We tried everything. But ultimately Goliath lost. I didn't even know Amazon had a gaming service. They tried everything except releasing a quality product. WB shuts down Monolith and the Multiverses studio. Wonder Woman game cancelled. They really took the studio that made Nalv, F.E.A.R, and Shadow of Mordor, and managed to drive them into shutting down. What a farce. Monolith has produced some fantastic games over 3 decades of work. This is a legitimate loss to the industry. Patent the Nemesis system. Don't let anyone use it. Cancel your own games which are going to use it. The fuck Monolith did wrong. None of their games were flops. Shadow of War was a mixed success I suppose, but still. This made zero sense to me during the prequels, but after TCW it kinda does. A Jedi zipping up his pants on the way out the door, may the Force be with you, because I'm not. This is actually explored in the Master and Apprentice novel by Claudia Gray. Dooku's first apprentice Rael Averross had a tendency for one-night stands, and in an argument with Qui-Gon he justified it as not forming any attachments. Masters of the High Council, she was my roommate, Anakin. Technically, it doesn't even bar marriage. Cki Mundi, if you can be a completely detached sociopath about it. Steam players are requesting to be able to filter out games with Gina. Not super related, but YouTube badly needs a filter for this too. This will only work if Steam enforces proper tagging. I've seen so much AI art on sites that have an AI art tag that just doesn't use it, and there's nothing the user can really do about it. I suspect if Steam implements an AI art filter that nothing will change, as the games that use AI won't tag their games. By the next 3 years, every single AAA will be in the list. As a person who's not at all against Gen AI, sure. Giving users more control over their experience is always nice. Especially considering how not good the experience of searching for a game on Steam can be sometimes. In Deadpool and Wolverine, 2024, an orthopedic store named Liefeld's is named after Deadpool comic creator Rob Liefeld. Liefeld has been criticized for not being able to draw feet properly in his comics. I noticed the Liefeld sign. I didn't notice it was an orthopedic store. That's hilarious. WTF is up with the pictures ratio, laughing face, it's now understandable. Just wait till desertification begins and the sand gets everywhere. It's always been prevalent, we're just old enough to care now. Call of Duty admits it's using AI-generated assets. It's Activision, I'm not surprised. I mean, it was pretty obvious with how some of those calling cards looked. Didn't everyone know this already for months? Well yeah, one of the Christmas banners was a Santa zombie with 6 fingers. Real. Sheev didn't need Anakin to make the Empire. Canonically he actually did accept Republic credits normally. It's explained that it was an intervention by the living force that pushed him into not accepting them in this one case specifically so that Qui-Gon would meet Anakin and kick everything off with the Chosen One. The only problem with the idea is that it is bullshit that I just made up. Thoughts about this? That's just Jim's character. Imo and Toby is always awkward. Everyone expects so much from Jim. That he is like a saint or something. They wrote him with flaws just like all the other characters. I don't see how some people don't see that. He is not supposed to be perfect. I find it fascinating how people are dead set on finding new reasons to hate Jim. Not returning a fist bump is new NGL. Fans have more creativity than the studios. Okay, but this dude has the Force unlike most of the actors, so it's not a fair comparison. 15 minutes lightsaber acrobatics, after which Han Solo pulls out his blaster and shoots him. Hey everyone, look, here's a cool thing. Shall we talk positively about the creative or just use it as an opportunity to be mildly toxic? Like and subscribe.